Hey, welcome to the Dawson and Denise show. I'm Dawson.
And I'm Denise.
And today we're talking about healing from a divorce, a breakup, or a bad relationship. And today I want to do this a little bit different. Today I want to interview my sister here.
Me? You put me on the ballot. Who voted for me? Me?
No, because you, not recently, but you went through something where you are healing, or you healed from a breakup. Right. So how did you go about doing that? How does one begin to take the steps to say, okay, it's over, now I got to go on with my life?
I guess I'll sound like an AA meeting when I say the first step is to admit it. You have to recognize and admit, okay, the person doesn't want you anymore, or you don't want that person anymore. So the first step is admitting it.
Admitting it.
But really, for real, seriously, it's like a 12-step program. You admit it, you may grieve, you get over it, and then you become one within yourself. You have to find yourself before you go looking for anything else, to realize what you did wrong, what you can do better.
Well, how did you get to the point? I mean, like, if you go through a breakup, you know, there's so many people in the United States who are getting divorced. There are many people who are breaking up, and people who we just have so much emphasis that, okay, this person's going to make my life better, or I can make this person better. Sometimes we see the warning signs or the red flags, and we still proceed and thinking that we can heal somebody, we can save somebody, when in actuality is what you see is what you get. In your situation, were there any red flags? Were there any signs? Or
yes, because I wasn't the best person in the world. I'm not going to sit on here and all because you guys watch the Dawson and Denise show, I'm not going to try to have y'all petition for me and say Jennifer. There were some things I could have done better, and that's why now I am doing those better. I recognize my fault, and I won't make the same mistake twice.
Wow. So that's so since then, so now you moved on, you're doing great. She's in a wonderful relationship. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick because she's just glowing. She beams like, it's like, oh my God.
Because I learned from my mistakes.
You learn from, and that's the important thing, because so many women and so many men, they join once there's a divorce, there's a breakup, the relationship ends, or you try to go after a person and the person don't want you. They have this syndrome like, oh man, I'm scorned.
And then I want to throw pity parties. I never threw a pity party. Not gonna do it. And like I said, I evaluated the situation. You have to make yourself a better you, and then you will attract what you put out.
You will attract what you put out. Yeah. And
then you have to love like you've never been hurt before.
Yeah, I love that. Talk on that.
You cannot make the other person pay for the mistake either you made or the person before them made. You have to start with a fresh slate each time.
A fresh slate each time. Wow, was that kind of hard to get to that point? Because see, this is why I wanted to interview you, because it was hard for you to...
It was hard, but once you find that time to focus on yourself and you don't have any influence, you just don't jump out of one and into the next. Once you can focus on yourself and you don't have influence from anybody, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your cousins, your other scorned girlfriend, once you have time to get to know yourself, the rest tends to come that much easier.
The rest comes that much easier.
And each time, never let anyone take you out of the character of being a woman. I think I handled it like I wasn't no slashing no tires, wasn't no Facebook bashing, MySpace bashing, on Dawson and Denise bashing. This is actually the first time you guys heard us talk about this, only because we want others to be able to heal and know it's not the end of the world when someone leaves you.
It's not. Or if you put your stuff out there, and because a lot of people have been, you guys got to hear this, a lot of people have been hurt, and some people come from family members where it's just about my family, and whoever else get in the way, you know, I'm gonna bulldoze them down. Or my dad had cheated, my uncle them all cheat, so I grew up with seeing people cheat.
And my grandma said stay in.
Exactly. So I'm gonna stay because that's how I do. But you have to set those guidelines in your life. No, you're not gonna do this to me. No, I'm not co-signing with that.
And you have to get over, like you just said, the hurt, because hurt people will continue to hurt people. And you have to let it stop there, so you won't get into a relationship, or you won't find this person who may be the best thing that ever happened to you, but because you are hurt, you mess with them, or you play games with them, and you end up hurting them.
Yeah, you end up hurting them.
You have to stop the cycle.
And then if you don't, I think this was true for myself with something I was going through, because I had to see that if, you know, I feel a certain way, or if you're at a certain level, and the person is not at that level that you're on, not that you're going like, oh, you can't be where I am and stuff like that, but you have to understand, believe people the first time when they show you who they are. If they say I'm crazy, I'm negative, I'm this right here, you got to believe that, and then sit with yourself and analyze this. Do you want that in your life?
Well, not even when they say it, they will show you.
Yeah, they will show you.
Because they can say anything.
Yeah.
But you better believe those actions.
The actions too. I mean, definitely if there's like signs. I mean, if somebody's cheating on you, if somebody just dogging you out, and you just sitting there taking it, then I would venture to say that you need to look at a self-worth value, or self-esteem value.
And then that's only your girlfriend or boyfriend.
Yeah.
Why even get married?
Why even get married? So I mean, and now that you've healed, and the reason why, because one of the things when you were going through your thing, you were something you said, love liberates. It was almost like, it was not in these exact words, but it was like love liberates. And if I'm not the right person for you, I want you to find who is the right person, because I wouldn't deny anybody their happiness.
Exactly.
You said that. I was impressed. I was like, I remember that. I told my mom that.
Why make someone else? If you're not, everybody deserves happiness. And if you're not that person and you can't make that other person happy, there's no need to even try to fight for them to stay, because they're not going to love you the way you want to be loved, and in return you cannot love them the way they should be loved. So it is best to let it go, and if you can be friends, especially if you have kids involved or whatever. All is keeping the kids from the daddy because you don't want them around whoever, or keeping the kids from the daddy because the daddy just don't want you. The kids hurt in the end, and we shouldn't do that. I mean, we can go on and on and on about this topic because I'm not the first, not the last, but I just think we should all be adults, and life is so short.
Yeah.
It's like, who has time for all that?
And one thing I want to say is that you may hurt, but the way you feel right now, you won't feel 3 months from now. You won't feel 6 months from now, a year from now.
But if you go slashing tires or breaking windows and killing people and you go to jail, you will continue to feel that hurt.
You will.
So it's like, just stay in character. Don't let anyone take you out of character of being a lady or a man, or don't let your kids see you fussing and fighting. It's just not worth it.
You know, since
you cannot live for anyone else, because maybe your mom or your grandmother wanted you to stay together. If you're not happy, you're just not happy.
You can't do it for nobody else.
No, you can't.
Definitely. And you can't do it for the kids, and you can't do it for the church.
Yep. And one friend of mine said, I would rather come from a broken home than to stay in one.
Wow.
And kids, you can try to hide it all you want to from the kids. They understand that mom and dad aren't happy. And it's like the tension is there. It's like, might as well move on. Exactly.
So if you guys are out there watching, this was just a little something we did over healing from divorce, broken relationships, or a breakup, because it's not the end of the world. I mean, definitely use this time to like invest into yourself, and you're never by yourself. You're always with yourself, and the presence of God, for those of you who believe in God, we're not pushing that, but as for me, is always with you, so you're never alone. And trust that the universe will provide for you the type of love that you have for yourself. That person will then come into your life and add and multiply, not divide and subtract. So you have to know your worth.
Yes,
you've got to know your worth. So I wanted to thank you for doing this, because I thought this would help some of our.
You look so much better when you smile.
You do. You got to smile. You got to love yourself, man. Because
like you've never been hurt before.
At the end, wow, I like that. Love yourself like you've never been hurt before. And don't take out your hurt on other people, because you may be passing by your potential, the one that God, the universe has for you. And then you wondering why he ain't seeing nobody.
He sent him, but you were so living in the. It's no future living in the past.
There isn't.
No future living in the past. So you can't worry about what happened yesterday, because if it wasn't meant to be a new day, we'll still be. There'll be no need to wake up and start all over again.
Exactly. And definitely invest into yourself and be grateful, man. I was talking to a girl here before I came out today, and she was saying, when am I going to find the right guy? When is this going to happen for me? I'm looking for this. And I told her, start being grateful. Start right now counting and being grateful, because right now you're looking for the right guy and you're worried about this relationship, but there's somebody in the hospital right now fighting for their life, wishing that they had the space, the activity of their limbs that you have right now, worrying about another guy. Somebody in the hospital fighting for their life, wishing they could trade places with you, and once they trade places with you, if that was allowed to happen, they wouldn't even care if they got married or been in a relationship or not. You got to flip the script and start being grateful. Flip the script.
We know what you're saying.
Y'all know what I'm saying. I'm a Southern boy, man. That's my Florida.
But it is very true. That is very true.
Yeah, you got to, man. And seriously, and you got to love yourself. You got to love yourself enough to carve out the best future for yourself.
Because how could you want another blessing when you are not even being grateful, like you said, for the one that you have already?
Yeah, you got to be grateful, and you know you got to love yourself, man, in spite of it. Because I believe we're promised a lot of things in life, and relationships may happen, they may not happen.
And they come and they go.
They come and they go, but the one thing that will stay is you, the self. You're constant, and you got to invest in that and love others.
You have to be true to yourself. That's must be true.
And like Iyanla Vanzant says, stay in peace, not in pieces. Healing the broken pieces of your life, your relationship, your marriage, everything. You can make it.
Yep.
And we feel that way on the Dawson and Denise show, that we're going to make it through it all. So, hey, God bless y'all. And any last minute things for our viewers as we end this topic?
Other than we love y'all.
Yeah, we love you guys. And definitely it's a beautiful day out here. And we got some things to do. South Beach? You think so? South Beach? Fort Lauderdale Beach? Somewhere?
Any beach.
Coconut Grove? I don't know. It's so much to do down here in South Florida. But and it's never a dull day. So we got to go. We love you guys. Stay strong and always do you. Peace. Done.